Signs and symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. Making out trouble, experiencing signs and symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome is completely hard to key out if you don't know what to search for, which is mainly because the irritable bowel syndrome has a variety of causes. Each person will suffer separately, thereby showing a varied proportion of signs and symptoms, and the truth is that a proper standard is needed to measure the proportion. Let us see some signals and symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. A generic list is not enough, as it may vary with every person. Irritable bowel syndrome cannot be categorized into a group of syndromes. Let us find out some classifications of IBS with their symptoms. Diarrhea-prevalent IBS, IBS-D. This type of syndrome is restricted by the symptoms related to diarrhea. Urgency to excrete whenever they want to go. Faces person will hurry to the bathroom when they need to defecate. Irritable bowel syndrome can cause very discomfort feeling, especially when a person is having any employment. B. Watery stools. The faces excreted by the person from the body will be filled with an excess amount of water and will be very loose and will contain a type of liquid. C. Abnormality in the movement of bowels. A person who has IBS-D has to evacuate his belly 3 to 4 times a day, which can cause dehydration. So a person suffering from this type of symptom will have to drink a lot of water and other fluids. 2. Constipation-prevalent IBS, IBS-C. This type of irritable bowel syndrome shows signs of constipation and symptoms related to this. A. Filtering out the belly. A person who has this illness will want to move his belly, which may be quite tough. Thus the person has to make a great effort to evacuate the faces from the body. Sometimes it may even cause pain in the abdomen and bowel. B. Chunky or thick stool. One of the common symptoms of IBS related to constipation is chunky, dry and thick and hard stools. This is mainly because the digestion may lack the proper amount of water to make the stools flaccid and easy to let off. C. Abnormality in the movement of the bowel. A person who suffers from IBS-C finds it difficult to defecate even 3 times a week. When the frequency of defecation becomes less, it could lead to danger, as it will build up to toxic substances in the body, mainly in the digestive tract. 3. Alternating irritable bowel syndrome, IBS-A. This is specified by interchanging signs along with symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. This can be quite tough, as the person has to alter his food habits to alleviate the symptoms. Some of the common signals and symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome are: pain in the abdomen. A person suffering from irritable bowel syndrome usually undergo mild to extreme pain in the lower part of the belly. This is induced by eating a variety of foods or having irregular food habits. This symptom may be also due to stress and strain. The irritable bowel syndrome signals and symptoms often subside as soon as the person defecates. The abrupt change in the frequency of feces. The irritable bowel syndrome can have a symptom that increases the frequency of feces or also be a decrease in the frequency of feces.